Hello, my name is Nathan Ashley, and welcome to Team 11's Alpha Milestone video. Now, we have a lot of art in this game. From the very beginning, we've set out to make our own custom assets for most things in this game, besides like character models and things of that nature. To go ahead and list what we have an attack alert, we have a boss HP and posture bar, a gravestone art, the HUD, item art, shop UI overlays, a lock-on icon, and messages to the player whenever they die or use the grave. When talking about music, our designers came up with a couple songs that they felt fit the theme of the game. That being said, there are, I believe, 3 or 4 music soundtracks in total so far. And that being said, 2 of those are exploration soundtracks, and the other one is a boss fight soundtrack. On top of that, we also have a main menu soundtrack. Next up is going to be our level design. For that one, our designers spent a lot of time really analyzing the kind of architecture that we wanted to implement and overall the feeling that we would like to convey to the player. There is one caveat though. Unfortunately, we kind of forgot about spring break. So what that essentially means is that the level's a little empty feeling. And that is simply because of spring break. One of our programmers, i.e. me, I got stuck with the flash drive for an entire week and was unable to transfer any data between any of the group mates. So basically, any other progress besides programming was halted during this time. Please do keep that in mind when I go to show you this. So if you can see, this is our level for Emergence of the Grave. We have these giant buildings in the background to kind of give an emphasis of size and scale. We wanted the people down below to really feel small and like minuscule. We really think that gives it a good feeling, and overall does a good job. Over here is just a building that has been blocked out, that is not finished yet. Over here we have the bamboo forest. Over here we have our little village area that is supposed to house enemies and stuff. We're going to be filling this up and trying to not have it feel so empty. We're also going to like polish it, lay it out, make sure all these edges aren't so rough. That overall is the level design. Like I said,
And
it's
over
quite empty.
here
And feels
is our beautiful corner.
it doesn't feel filled area.
If I'm just being
This
honest.
is
But
where
that is something that we understand,
and that we
our
are
shop
currently
is
working
located.
on. So
And
just
this is
go ahead and
supposed to
keep an
be
eye
like
out in the
a
future.
peaceful
This
area
kind of stuff
where
will be
like,
refugees have been housed. Don't quote me on that. I am not the lore guy. I am a programmer, so I do apologize if the lore has gotten mixed up there. Yeah, if you can see, these are what are called grapple points in our game, and it will be a part of the grapple system that I will later explain. Yeah, that was the level design, and overall, we understand that there's some things that we need to work on, and there's a lot that needs to get done in that aspect of the project. Like I said, we are we are devoting time to it. We are figuring out who needs to get stuff done, when it needs to get done. Overall, we're just being a lot more organized with our workflow. Um, but yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's just kind of how things played out. We forgot about spring break, and we should have just planned better. But overall, I'd say it's pretty good for what we got. Now we're going to be talking about the systems and blueprints of the game. As of right now, we have 6 systems in place, those being stealth, grappling, combat, vaulting, bonfire system, and stats. Now, of those systems, combat consists of attacks, parries, and counters, and the stats system consists of the health, the stagger bar, and the XP. So as of right now, our stealth system pretty much just consists of crouching and walking up behind the enemy AI and assassinating it. Besides that, we really haven't implemented any other kind of logic, and overall, it needs some work before it can be put into the final project. That being said, we do have the base code for it, and I will go ahead and show you that so you can get an idea of how this works. So this is the code that displays the widget when the player is in radius, is signaling that an assassination is available. So basically, the way it works is it's an overlap event on the assassination radius, which right here is the assassination radius. It's this little sphere back here. Whenever the player is entering this, it's going to display a widget saying that the player can assassinate the enemy AI. This over here, as you can see, sets the location of the assassination widget. So this over here sets it to be able to show up, and this actually puts it in the world on a specific spot. This right here is the code that plays the animation for when the enemy is stabbed and a stealth kill has been enacted. So basically, there's an assassination damage custom event here that it sets the opacity of these 2 objects right here. It goes ahead and plays a montage that is attached to the mesh of the enemy. This is the actual montage right here. This is the timeline for the montage. So the montage is called to play, and then on notify begin, the timeline plays, and then when the timeline is finished, it sets the opacity back to 0 so that you cannot see the widget. Now, if we move into our player blueprint, we can see that there is some assassination code in here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and read this out so I can kind of explain this a little bit. The assassination is triggered when a button is pushed, that button being F. When F is pushed, it's going to get the actor from an array. It then goes into a branch that asks if the object uses the BPI assassination class, which then, if it is true, sends a signal, or a message rather, that says stealth back assassination, reference location. From there, we then play a montage that is attached to the player mesh, and then once the montage has been triggered, it's going to add or update a warp target. Now that warp target is the assassination warp, which is where our player is going to kind of teleport to when the assassination is triggered. And that should be it for the stealth section of the systems.